Hello, everybody. It's Sybil. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Welcome to George Wallace Day, and we have some very special guests. Welcome back to our friend. Are you okay, Lavar?
Yeah, I'm trying to get my background right.
Okay. Lavar Walker, comedian, is here with us, and for the very first time, we're welcoming Joyelle Nicole Johnson. How are you?
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so good. Hello, beautiful. I love that poster behind you,
the
that
light
beautiful
over there.
artwork.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to
Good,
meet you,
hey.
George, and thank you for bringing on your friends.
But of course, and that piece of art behind you, I swear to God, I thought that was a picture of Joyelle before she came on. It looks like her behind you, the painter behind you, Sybil.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was Joyelle. And this guy down at the bottom, he claims he's the funniest guy in the world. But we're glad to have him today.
Dr. Walker, welcome back.
Thank you, Sybil. I'm so glad that you are on this show. We need someone with intellect to,
That
keep
is
it
not me.
balanced, keep it moving. Oh, we know it's not you.
It's Joyelle, of course. I know you're talking about Joyelle. You're not talking about
But
Joyelle.
me and Joyelle are guests. You are actually, this is you guys' show, okay? So we need Sybil on here. We don't need you, buddy. Right?
So would you let Sybil talk then? Could you do that?
No, that's usually what I ask you, George. And now, George, I want you to talk a little bit about Joyelle because you were so excited about having her. So tell us about your friend Joyelle, George.
Hey, let me tell you something. So Joyelle and I work on the Karen Hunter show every Friday, and she is such a smart lady. She's one of the hottest young comedians in America today. She just shot her first TV special, and on with what is it, Comedy Central? And Peacock. Okay, that is so cool, and we're just happy to have you. And you're going to look out for her because this is one of the upcoming rising stars. And that's what I like it. People you need to know. Joyelle Nicole. You need to know her. You're going to hear a lot about her. And she is extremely smart. And the other guy is a doctor. He actually has a title, Sybil. Doctor. And I want to see him because I do need a booster shot.
Can you provide that, Lavar Walker?
I'll probably give him the wrong thing. I want to get this guy out of the way. I'm telling you that.
But you're going to give me some ether, some old ass stuff.
I don't know what I'm going to give you. I'm going to take care of you, though. I got something.
Just sit down. I'm going to take care of you. Don't you worry about a thing, right?
I'm going to take care of you.
Well, Sybil, indeed, this guy, Lavar, I hate to say it in front of your face because it seems like I'm lying, but this is truly one of the funniest men I know, the young upcoming comedians, and I'm just glad to have him on. And he'll tell you more about him later.
Thank you.
I'm just going to say threats are extra threatening when you do them in front of a brick wall. So it just really seems like you mean it.
Like I'm in the alley or something, the improv.
Yes.
Like you really worked at the improv, right?
I'm in the improv right now. Hey, what's going on, guys?
You're just another brick out of the wall. That's all you are. Yes.
Well, let me ask you all this as we move on to what's going on in our world, the topical subjects that we'd like to touch upon. Are you all in New York City?
Yes.
Okay.
I am presently in Brooklyn. Yes.
Okay.
I'm in Harlem.
All right. And George, you are?
And today I'm in New York City, and it rained in my front yard and didn't rain in the backyard. One of those days. I like that.
So it rained in the front of your building and not in the back?
Right.
Okay.
You never had that happen as a kid? You grew up and it's raining in the front yard and you're running out, Mom, it's raining in the front yard, but it's not raining in the back. You never had that happen to you?
Ever?
No.
Climate change.
Probably that rain was probably. Was your face in the backyard?
That will stop the rain.
Yeah, your face probably. If you was sitting in that back, that's what happened. That your face stopped it. So
You're proving to be pretty funny. I don't care who gets to laugh. I'm the one taking the check on. Just don't forget that, okay?
I hear that.
What check is that?
You need to buy you another shirt. Tell you that.
I bought a brand new shirt and it's too busy for the camera. I'm gonna take it off right now.
No, don't worry.
Bloomingdale's, sir? Was that from Bloomingdale's?
This is Robert Graham. This is a Robert Graham.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you get that at Marshall's.
The reason why I asked about you all being in New York because the mayor has come out and talked about the potential flash floods coming to your neighborhood and a return perhaps of a couple of weeks ago. Were you all affected by that? And are you concerned about the return of these floods because it was bad?
Well, I'm not concerned because I currently live in Atlanta. I'm just visiting. because I have a show in New Jersey at
right.
Omegas.
But you did you
Friday and
see what
Saturday.
happened? Did you see the
Yeah,
weather on the
I
East
saw
Coast?
some flooding. Yeah, I saw some flooding, but I'm in Harlem. You guys didn't get flooding, right? They didn't get it in Harlem.
They're scared.
It depends on where you are in New York City. Certain portions of the city, like across the street from me in Central Park, we got 7 inches in like 4 hours. And so we did get the flooding. And certain people see it, certain people don't.
Joyelle, did you?
People. The penthouse people don't see it. Okay. That's what he meant.
Okay. How about you, Joyelle? Were you affected? And are you concerned about the return of this, perhaps?
Just like Lavar, I currently live in Atlanta right now, but the thing is I'm moving back and we're about to put an offer in the house, me and my partner, and we were in between a garden level basement duplex and a penthouse duplex. And we were like, oh, the basement can't do it.
Can't do it.
So I got to be like,
you moving back to New
Wallace.
York?
Yes.
Joyelle, you moving
back?
Oh, cool.
So
are you in Atlanta now?
Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn right now.
Okay.
Well, congratulations, and if that did sway you in the penthouse as opposed to the basement apartment, I'm glad that something good came out of that horrific storm, because the mayor is talking about New Yorkers being vigilant about the upcoming heavy rainfalls, and as remnants of Ida, obviously caught everyone off guard, so he's asking people to be vigilant all day. So that means, George, you just walk back and forth and look out your penthouse window.
Well, that's what I do. I really don't. The weather is different downstairs than it is upstairs. I'm on the 31st floor. And listen to me, and it's really different. And certain areas, the rain can be harder, worse than other areas. So, like I said, Brooklyn.
What a way to show off. Do you hear him showing off?
I love it. Do you see the building sway up there?
I'm on the 39th floor in my penthouse.
I never mentioned the word penthouse, okay? I am on the top floor, though.
My butler didn't get drowned.
Do you see the building sway up there? Because I've seen the building sway.
But this is concrete. Concrete doesn't sway. The building across from me, that's 101, it sways. I see it swaying on. It's like a cartoon.
It swayed that time his mama walked up there.
Wow.
Sybil?
I do want to talk some serious talk, because one of the things
he's worse than Jay, Sybil.
No, nobody's that bad. I do want to talk about what's going on that my attention is focused on, and I'm wondering if you all are as focused on what's happening with the Haitians at the border of the United States and Mexico. Is that something that you all are watching and taking a deeper dive into, as many of us are?
I think it's really sad. I think, first of all, I mean, for them to even land in Texas, and I know it's a meme going around, but that is currently my thought. How did they end up at the Texas border? And if they made it that far with that type of resilience, they should be allowed American citizenship. Okay.
And
you got a process.
They have been coming from some parts as far south as South America. They have been traveling, trying to get here.
Sure.
Many of them left Haiti like 10 years ago. Yeah. And they have, tried to find work, and what they found was racism, poor unemployment numbers. And so they have started moving north, and especially as Joe Biden came into office, and he was saying, we're going to allow people to come into this country, and they took him at his word. Now they're here, and he's sending them back.
But there's still a legitimate process to get into the country. They did show up. They've been coming for 10 years, 5 years, and they made it to Texas. And it's like he was saying, Lavar was saying, it's terrible with what they're doing with the horses and how they're rounding them up and shit like that. But there's a process to get into America, and that's what's happening right now. We do have to process these people, and we just can't let everybody just come in. Sorry.
They did it with Afghanistan.
Yeah. But they were processed, though. They were processed.
Oh, sure, they were processed, but they brought them here. So why can't they allow the same thing to happen with the Haitians that are coming in?
I agree with you on that too. See, I'm caught up. I do agree. I mean, these people have been traveling. They need somewhere to go. There's nowhere to go back to. There's nothing in Haiti. Come on, we know that. So they're just trying to make a better life for themselves.
So go ahead, Joyelle. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, regardless of what they are doing, do we need to have whips involved with
Right.
horses? That's
Not at
the
all.
only thing I'm concerned about is if somebody's
Yeah.
seeking asylum, there is a process to seeking asylum, even if it means that you need to
Right.
be in a holding cell for a certain amount of time. That process should not ever include a whip.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And so reminiscent of our slavery times when people were doing that, when the white
Yes.
man was doing that, just to keep you and other people up to date, those people who were the Border Patrol sheriffs or whoever they
Just
claim to
terrible.
be, have been put on administrative leave, and they are investigating the situation. That, according to the White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, said that they are not working right now. So I don't know if they're on administrative leave with
Why did they
pay.
put them on administrative leave for doing? That's what they wanted them to do. I don't
You know,
understand.
still get paid, right? Still
Yeah.
get paid.
Also-
Don't just put them on administrative leave now because we called them. They told them to do.
Right.
Also, who took those pictures? They looked very professional. I don't know who was down there with the camera and caught those pictures like
Well,
that.
once again, the darker your skin, the more problems you have.
Whew, I know you got a lot of problems, George. My God, man.
We're like all a color wheel right now.
Yes, Jesus Christ. Poor George. Poor George.
The darker you are, the more problems you have. That's what's
More
that's
color,
what's-
more problems. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, even with the Cubans, the dark Cubans, they have more problems getting into the country. It's all. I feel sorry about it. You know.
Yeah.
Well, don't you ever leave the country, George. Never.
In this day and age, George, how we gonna keep you in this country? How we gonna keep you from traveling?
Yeah,
I don't
you
know, because
leave,
we'll
he ain't
never get
coming
you
back,
back.
will he?
Right. Exactly.
Walt Walker, a doctor, and can't keep his camera straight against the brick wall.
I'm sorry. I'm actually holding the camera in my hand. Typically, I'm in Atlanta in my office, but this is the only way I can do this.
So let me ask you guys, have you how are you doing still in the age of the coronavirus as well as in the age of the vaccine? Are you all conversant about talking about the vaccine and whether you have been vaccinated or not?
I've been vaccinated. I'm
Oh.
also a healthcare professional, so
So, well, there are healthcare professionals. Here's the thing, Lavar. There are healthcare professionals
Who are
who
it?
don't want to be vaccinated, and they're saying they still want to do more research. What do you say
that's
to those
them.
people?
You know,
Research
listen,
are they doing?
I'm to the
Right,
point.
Joyelle?
I'm to the point now. If you want it or don't want it, I really don't care. I'm for it. I'm just about protecting myself.
Exactly.
So
Right.
go
Joyelle?
ahead. Roll the dice. I don't care anymore.
Joyelle, how do you feel?
I am extremely. I have a necklace that says vaccinated right now
Okay,
that my
okay.
friend got me for my birthday because I am extremely adamant about it. I just had a
Right.
television show taping and my mother came up. She got a booster shot before she came up from Atlanta. The whole entire audience was vaccinated in Brooklyn. We all got tested. So it made me feel comfortable and safe. And a couple of my family members was mad because they couldn't come.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you
Right.
can't, you're not vaccinated. You can't come. I can't
can't.
risk you getting COVID in a space and you're sick because you wanted to come to my birthday party. Like
Right.
that's not something I want to risk. So I only want to interact with people in person that are vaccinated.
Yeah.
Chica, Sybil, do you have a copy of the clip I sent of my doormat right now? Can we put that up there,
Does it
Chica?
say vaccinated only?
Look at my
Yolanda-
new doormat.
Hang on one second. As we do that, and we do for the people that are listening to us on the radio, we will read that as well. Let me ask you this, Dr. Lavar, because this is a question for people who have maybe been partially vaccinated or not vaccinated at all. And now the question is, as you get over the coronavirus, how long should you wait to get the vaccination? And because there's there is an incredible wealth of information regarding this, and who says what. The CDC says one thing, the World Health Organization says another, the doctor says another, your personal physician has another opinion. What do you think?
Doctor.
I just say get vaccinated. I mean, if you call it, get it as soon as possible. Just get it.
Exactly. I become a mean person, Sybil. I'm thinking if you're vaccinated, you're good. If you're not vaccinated, why go run into the hospital when you get sick? How come you don't trust the doctors now? Then you want to trust them when you get sick. So I become kind of a mean person. Okay, if you don't get the shot, don't ever go to the doctor. Don't ever trust it.
Well, no, a lot of people are being sent away because they have not been vaccinated, because they don't believe in it, and it's ruining our healthcare system.
Sure.
Because you have all these babies now who are, in the middle of a coronavirus crisis and trying to get them help, and they're being intubated and all of this, as well as the older people. It's really quite frightening. But the reason why I ask you, Lavar, is because one doctor told friends of mine, wait 3 months. Another said 6 months. Another one said, well, you can get it right now. It just goes on and on. It's a confusing situation for people who do want to get right with the Lord.
I would just get it right now. Get it as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm qualified to get the booster. So as of today, as of right now, they just said they approved it. So I'm 65, so I'm going to get that booster. I don't know which one to get because I'm one of the few people that got Moderna first, and I got Pfizer the second time. So
how did that happen?
They told me.
Okay.
That don't sound right.
No, there's something.
Listen to me.
Something don't sound right. Let's
your teeth. I was wondering why your teeth look loose.
Let's talk about that, George, as we now move on to what's really going on. And I want to just have you all talk about what's really going on in your world, what your thoughts and observations. In following you guys and Lavar, especially you have a lot of opinions on a number of different issues, but that's the whole comedy business. So let's ask you, what's going on in your world? What are you talking about these days?
I'm just talking about life. Working as a comic, dealing with people, pro-vaxxers, anti-vaxxers. I don't know, just my observations.
So what are your observations? Because one of the things that I've noticed, are you into astrology? Because I've noticed a couple of posts.
Yes, I'm very much so into astrology. I'm a Virgo. I'm a Virgo.
It's
yeah, and a lot of that stuff really applies to us. I think like my wife is a Cancer, and my brother a Cancer, and George is a Cancer, and they're very emotional, and they like to whine, and
we don't like to whine. We never whine.
They do. They very emotional.
You whining about that?
It's just a lot of truths. When is your birthday, Sybil?
I'm a Leo, and I'm right on the Leo Virgo line. I'm August 20th.
It's a lot of truth, I think, in those horoscopes.
Absolutely.
So what are you, Joyelle?
Virgo, September 12th, my 40th birthday just passed.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I taped my special on my 40th birthday through myself.
Wow, what a big birthday.
That's awesome.
Crazy.
That's
big
awesome.
Birthday. Yeah, and Jimmy Fallon produced it, and he's also a Virgo as well. So it's just like all that energy. I'm very much into zodiac signs. I was blessed enough to do the Tonight Show earlier this year, which
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah. And when Jimmy came into my dressing room before the show, I was just like, "Hey, Virgo," and he was like, "Hey, Virgo, you believe in Virgos?" And we just started talking about Virgos. And I'm not going to say that it didn't have anything to do.
Did he believe? Did he believe in it?
Absolutely. We started kikiing like girlfriends at a beauty salon about it.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was beautiful. So I firmly believe that our signs have influences on our lives and levels of intelligence and and reasons for doing things.
And how does that affect you guys in terms of doing business with people? Because as you said, you think that you're being a Virgo and Jimmy Fallon being a Virgo affected, perhaps had some influence on your special and things like that. But in your day-to-day, or as you are, traveling throughout the country, does that really play a part for you? Lavar?
You talking about my horoscope sign playing a part of me being a comic? Yeah, because Virgos we kind of move by ourselves. We like kind of loners, and this is definitely a one-man sport, So it plays a lot in that. Just the way we move.
I don't believe it at all. I think everybody's just a different person. It don't mean shit.
Thank
Look
you,
at me.
George.
It doesn't mean nothing. I'm a Cancer, but I just love people. Man, I do like people. I am outgoing. I don't whine. I never whine. That's one thing I do. I never whine about nothing.
Except now.
Shut up. I'm whining because are you lying down, Lamar Doctor? What are you doing? Your head is all backwards.
No, I have my back.
There's actually something wrong with you.
No, my back was hurt, and I have to every 10 minutes. The doctor said I got my brace on, so I have to.
We old.
I have to go back.
Well, Joyelle, you
You ain't got no brace.
celebrating your 40th birthday, Joyelle, and doing all of that. You are definitely not a part of the old crew. You are young and spirited, and I'm very excited for what's going on with you. I really am. Congratulations.
I'm really excited. Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
So Joyelle, what is your special? Is that coming on Netflix?
It's gonna be a Peacock. Yeah.
Peacock.
It's the first Peacock
What's
special.
up?
It's Peacock's first special, Jimmy Fallon's first special, my first special. A lot of firsts happening there. So
Joyelle, could you loan me a few $1,000s?
you want a couple of dollars?
Yeah.
Joyelle, have you filmed it?
Yeah, we filmed
This was
it
on your birthday. This was on your birthday. Okay, so let me ask you this. So since then and now, with all the things that are going on, what's really going on in your head? What's going on in your world as you from your Virgo mind? What are you thinking these days?
Ooh, I think another aspect of mine is that I have a tendency to ruminate on things. So it'll be like you'll have this super duper high with my special, but then I'm also having like a swoop down. I need everybody to stop dying. That is why I am so adamant about the vaccine, because we've had like about 5 or 6 comedians die in the past month. And back to one of my friend's sons died, and then another comedian passed away. He had a heart condition, and I honestly don't think he got enough attention in the emergency room because the hospitals were overwhelmed with COVID patients. And he was a 40-year-old Black man who died of a heart attack. We had a comedian in Atlanta, Lavar knows, that just recently committed suicide. So there's my whole entire special is about therapy. And I want people to get therapy, because this past year especially has been an assault on our mental illness, also including drug addiction. We had another comedian who died of a fentanyl-laced drug overdose. So I think like people, we're using drugs extra now. We're drinking more. We need therapy. We need health checkups, and we need to stop pressuring the health care workers by not being vaccinated and overwhelming the industry right now. So that's really what's on my mind. I'm trying to be happy about the special, but I'm like, if somebody called me another time to tell me somebody else died.
And so how does that affect your day to day? So are you living are one of those living in the moment now kind of people, as opposed to maybe you weren't before?
I mean, I've always lived in the moment. I think that's one thing of people who pursue entertainment. We are live in the moment type of people, because we realize, I don't know about the rest of you guys, I knew I wasn't going to be good at a 9-to-5 corporate gig. I was going to get fired from that. So I just think I've been living in the moment. And part of that was like, I'm going to throw a big ass birthday party for myself.
Nice.
And enjoy this time,
And I'm going to live in a penthouse and it's all going to be, I love that. I absolutely love
Dr.
that.
Wallace.
George, what's going on in your world? What's happening? What are your thoughts these days?
I'm still the most blessed person in the world. Of course, I'm dealing with the COVID. I'm still somewhat quarantined. I'm still taking it easy. Like we said, it's affected my life tremendously. So I'm not working yet. And I commend these 2 young people for going out there. They're still in the clubs. I'm not ready for it yet, just because of my mental state right now. With Chris Rock contracting the disease last week, I'm just taking it easy. But however, on the other end, I'm in a business where I can talk to people via Sybil Wilkes Live, and still, last year was one of my best years monetarily wise ever, just being able to do what I do. I did a show. There's a show premiering tonight on Hulu. Called The Premise with BJ Novak. Very big show today on Hulu. Also, I wrote the book this year, Bull, Twit, and Whatnot, and it's going strong. And I need about 25,000 more people to hit 1 million. And I'm just having fun. And I got another show coming out on HBO Max called 10-Year-Old Tom next month. And then we're going to go into, I'm also currently writing with Norman Lear on the series from episode 3 now with Laverne Cox, and it's called Clean Slate. And one more thing, and we're rebooting The Wash. So I'm pretty busy. It seems like I'm not doing anything, but I'm pretty damn busy. And I just got called last night from Shaq to go to Las Vegas and host a show with Kelly Clarkson, Snoop Dogg, and Justin Bieber. And I said, thank you so much. 18,000 people. I have done it before, but thank you so much. I won't be there this time. And I'm so blessed I'm having fun and be able to talk to you guys and be able to see young comedians. I really enjoy the young comedians, the future comics that are really killing it. And some are stupid, some are very intelligent.
Well, I know that this has been a really big year for you, Joyelle, and you mentioned going on the Tonight Show for the very first time. And I remember calling George or sending him a text a couple of weeks ago. I was watching the old Carson reruns, and there was a young George Wallace. What was that like for you, making your first appearance on Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon?
It was absolutely unreal because it came on the heels of a pandemic and all of us being in the house for a year.
Uh-huh.
And I hadn't been able to do live stand-up comedy. Thank you, Lavar. And so being able to be on Zoom, I was able to do comedy shows through Zoom. I never stopped doing comedy, and that allowed me to be prepared to do the Tonight Show.
Mm-hmm.
So I just was so thankful and happy and honored. I had to go by myself because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there by myself. And luckily it was my second late night set. I had already done late night with Seth Meyers 3 years ago. So I was able to have the strength and not be so crazy nervous. Because for Seth Meyers, my hand was shaking with the microphone. I was so scared. So I was a little less afraid this time, but it was unreal. I mean, I told a family member I did the Tonight Show, and he was like, "You didn't do the Tonight Show." He was like, "What show did you do?" I was like, he's like, "You mean like something else?" He just couldn't believe it. I was like, "You're real." I don't believe it either. So it's crazy.
And that was your first Tonight Show. I can't imagine doing the first Tonight Show by myself. When we started, all the comedian friends came along with you to support you. And because you go, Sybil, I don't know whether you've ever experienced this or not, but when you're behind that curtain at the Tonight Show, especially your first time, they say, and coming to the stage now, everything goes out of your head. You go, I don't know my act. I don't know nothing. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know my name. I don't know nothing. And Sybil, that copy you watched with Johnny Carson, I did a pretty good set for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But after I found out about 20 years later, Johnny Carson wasn't too fond of us. The darker your skin, get back. I found that out through the hard way. And if you notice, Red Fox never did the show, only once. And that's because he was shooting next door and he just surprised him at the Tonight Show. But only the black people got in with Johnny Carson. That was Bill Cosby, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy was on NBC, of course. But it was pretty tough on us.
Oh, gotcha.
Pretty tough on us.
Yeah.
I went with Shirley Hemphill when she was number one on ABC. What's Happening was the name of the show, right? And she got bumped. And Shirley, just as loud as she could, she said, "F Johnny Carson, I'm out of this MF." And so he didn't care too much for us. And I found that out about a friend that was Doc Severson's manager. So, so some things you don't know. It's pretty tough for us in show business.
Yeah.
So,
feel free to tell me more stories like that.
Yeah. And so you got a young guy, Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers, so they appreciate us now. See, if you had done a set like I done on the first Night Show, he probably would have said, "Come on over." But
so did he ask you ever, George, to come over to the couch?
I never went over to the couch with Johnny Carson. I went over with Jay Leno and everybody else.
Sure.
But
Lavar,
not many black people did.
Lavar, do you have experiences like that, like doing the big shows and how you felt, your memories on that?
I haven't done. The only big show I've done like on that level would be Last Comic Stand, and
well, that's big.
Huge.
I had a great experience. Rest in peace to Norm Macdonald. Showed me a lot of love.
Yeah.
Roseanne was on the show, and Keenan Ivory Wayans. Man, it was a good time. I didn't have any issues.
That's nice.
I didn't have any issues.
That's nice.
Well, if you keep doing the same like you're doing now, you will never get on any big show.
Well,
don't you start with me. Don't you start.
And before we wrap up this segment, I'm just curious, what are stretches and stories, Joyelle?
Stretches and stories. I used to be a yoga instructor back before.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Yes. And it was the thing I was doing in the beginning of the pandemic, where I was just having stories and interviewing people and then doing a yoga stretch after. But I abandoned it because producing shows is not my forte.
Mhm.
I'm not that person. It's too complicated. So
Well,
back to
just so
maybe
you
doing
know,
yoga.
I thought perhaps it was yoga related because my best friend, our executive producer, Yolanda Starks Wright, that you met before the show, she is a yoga instructor, and we have a yoga studio. Yeah, it's a different kind of yoga, but I'm hoping that we can get Lavar to come and try some stretching and help out his
yes,
vet.
I would love to, but guys, I'm sorry, I have to go now.
Okay.
I got to run down. Listen, can I just say this? 24th and 25th, I'll be live at Aruga's in New Jersey. Come out, get those tickets. And I have to run now. I got to do a spot at the cellar that I don't want to miss.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'll see you
All
this
right.
weekend.
Y'all
Thank you for coming on, man. God
Thanks
bless
for
you. Come back
joining
with
us.
Thank you, guys.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
take it
With
easy.
your punk ass.
All right, Joyelle and George Wallace, it is now time for us to talk about what you need to know. And Joyelle, I don't know if you know, but we do have a newsletter. Once the Tom Joyner show ended and we decided, we had to do something else, we couldn't afford to retire like Tom. And so we started this newsletter, which is a single focused in terms of giving news and information to African Americans. And so that is where our stories are generated and how we come out every day, Monday through Friday. We email it and it'll be in your email box every Monday through Friday morning, first thing. If you go to SybilWilkes.com, then you can get this free subscription to our newsletter, and it makes for a great post or belated birthday gift, by the way, to yourself. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So the very first story that we talk about, and we are giving a lot of attention to, and as we've mentioned before, is the situation with the Haitians at the border.
Texas.
And the Black Caucus has taken the lead on a lot of this. They went before members of the I keep calling them Bush, the members of the Biden administration at the White House.
Freudian slip.
It really is. It really is. And so they met with senior members, and they wanted to know first about those pictures of the white patrol agents trying to corral and round up the Black folks, the Haitians, as well as talking about what you're going to do. You can't just send them back. And then today we get word that the special envoy to Haiti has quit. And he's saying that he doesn't like the way the Biden administration is handling the situation in Haiti. And so it seems as though they've got some splaining to do.
Splaining. Well, I'm a bit confused, Sybil. I don't know exactly what we could do. The only thing good we could do is just let them in. That's the only thing good we could do. We do have them going through the process of getting in, but what do we do?
Yeah.
I feel bad about it. What do we do? I'm sure nobody has a good answer right now.
Well, Joyelle, I think you and I are in agreement on this. What we do is do what you did with the the people in Afghanistan, the Afghani people who you were going to leave behind. You brought them, you rounded them up, and you brought them to this country. And I know that they're being held on military bases. So why can you not do this with the Haitians?
Yeah, I mean, I just want people to exercise humanity. I really was able to put myself in this situation watching the television show The Handmaid's Tale and thinking about living in a country that, is either not accepting of your race or dangerous or risking your life for you or your children and trying to escape. So if I lived in a situation like The Handmaid's Tale and this was Gilead, I would need to escape to Canada. And if I got there and they just sent me back, in the television show, they accept these immigrants, these asylum seekers, and they set them up in Canada. And it's like, I wouldn't go to Canada if I wasn't being desperate for something.
Right.
So these people are coming here out of desperation, and we have enough room. We have enough resources. We have enough space, and people need to stop acting like they don't want to hire cheap workers. Cut it out.
But are we sending everybody back, or are we admitting a number of patients?
Well, there are some that they say they are admitting, George, but they're sending about 1,000 back over these last few days, 1,000 a day. So, but they say that you didn't hear it from us, but we are letting people in, and it's just very disturbing because all you have to do is look at the pictures at Haiti.
Exactly.
You have You have a presidential assassination, you have an earthquake, you have storms, and you have violence.
Yeah.
And how do you say, okay, you got to go back, even if you haven't been there for 10 years, you got to go back. We can't.
In a country that is founded on immigration. Our entire country's premise is immigration.
With the exception of American Indians, the Native Americans, everybody was brought here.
Yeah. So it seems like a no-brainer, but I don't know, man. Biden need to do something.
Man, and I said, look, Black people put you in office, and Black people need your help right now. They may not be the ones that voted for you, but you have got to step up and you got to do something.
Full accountability.
Will he catch hell either way if he let everybody in?
He's not getting anything passed anyway, George. It's like, everything that he's trying to do it bipartisanly, and that's not working.
It's not working, right?
Yeah.
You got to change this up, dude.
Yeah, man. It's part of being of the old guard, I think, because he was able to be on both sides for most of his political career.
Yeah.
You see how confusing this is, and nobody can figure it out. It's really, really confusing, and that's why everybody's so concerned. What do we actually do?
George, you can figure it out. Joyelle can figure it out. I can figure it out. He's not choosing to figure it out.
Put that pressure on him. I don't know.
Come on.
Because we got to call a congressperson about something every day.
Yeah, we do. And speaking of the Congress, now negotiations completely fell apart regarding the policing reform bill.
Yes.
And poor Senator Cory Booker had to get on the phone and tell Senator Tim Scott, look, no, we're done. You aren't willing to come to the table and really negotiate. Here's what we're willing to do. You're not. So we're done.
I think Cory Booker can actually do it like that. So he said, look, Waka Flocka, we're through with you. We're done with you. You're not helping us all. Then he said, are you Black, Tim Scott? Are you Black? You're not Black, Waka Flocka. Bye. Bam. What are we going to do with Tim Scott? He's not helping us at all.
Yeah.
As a Black person.
He is a Republican. I will give that to him.
Is he more Republican than Black, Sybil? I think so.
I think that's an interesting way to look at it, George. Yeah.
He's more Republican, but he's going to get it. He's out.
He just got reelected.
But the next voting term, he's out. Trust me, that's what Stacey is doing now. Stacey's on that bus. Yeah, whenever it is, he's out. His ass is gone.
He has a couple more years, George, before, but hopefully, hopefully with people that are demonstrating who they are and who they are for and what they are doing, that their terms will come to an end.
Exactly.
That's especially what we're saying here in Texas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is Texas the worst state now? Is Florida trying?
I mean, Texas and Florida. I don't know which one.
It's still Florida.
It's still Florida.
Yeah. There's got a Black man today trying to initiate another program similar to the Texas program, right, Sybil?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Florida. And this is really interesting. A Black state senator.
Yes.
He's a Black Republican. And he has, in Florida, has tried to put forth a bill. He didn't try. He has put forth a bill, which is as restrictive as Texas, including they're going to fine doctors who perform abortions $10,000, as well as those who help them get to an abortion facility.
Yeah.
Does it hurt you when you see a Black man at the forefront? Where the hell do you come from?
Well, Florida is a different flavor anyway. The governor
so is misogyny.
Okay, and then there's that, Joyelle. You're absolutely right. Right.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but this is one of my things, like abortion rights. I'm a women's reproductive rights stan. I work with the Abortion Access Front. I've been on the lines, traveled the entire country to the red states to do work for clinics. Mm-hmm. And this is absolutely infuriating because whether you are for abortion or you are against it, these laws are not going to stop abortions. Women are going to have abortions if they want one. Right. Yes. And I've heard stories in these clinics where they say women will call them and say, look, I got bleach, I got a hanger. What can I do in my own house?
Yeah.
So that's what
in this century.
In this century, in 2021, my mother's a nurse and she started nursing when Roe versus Wade was passed. And she said well into the late 70s, women were still coming in with infections because they tried to do their own procedure. So just know that that's what you're stopping, and you're stopping women of color from getting a safe abortion because a rich white woman is always going to be able to have an abortion.
Exactly.
Whether it's legal or not. So it's just infuriating me. And I need men to understand we're not getting pregnant by ourselves. And you want us to have this right too.
Right. Yeah. So if we can't have abortions, then we're going to require that you have vasectomies, or at least some, or perhaps just the removal of them.
Just cut it off, right? Just cut it off. Just cut the whole thing off. Cut it off. Cut it off and laugh it off.
Eye bushes.
So this police reform bill is definitely it's dead in the water as of right now. It's not going to go anywhere this current congressional session, and I think everything is pretty much going to come to a standstill if they don't get this budget passed and the infrastructure bill and all of these other things that are as important as our rights on the streets and making sure that police don't continue to kill us without some accountability. And they obviously they put Tim Scott forth. The Republicans I'm referring to put Tim Scott forth with this Justice Act of his, and they're holding the country, and not to mention the Democratic Party, hostage. As Mitch McConnell is just sitting there just laughing his ass off.
Yep.
He doesn't seem like he experiences joy.
He needs some joy, Joyelle.
that's the album is Yell Joy. The special is Love Joy. Because people hurt people. I know Mitch McConnell's not a happy person because he wants people to be upset.
Right.
Happy people. George Wallace is a happy person. He wants other people to be happy. You know, you can tell when someone's a happy person, and only hurt people behave like that. So, Mitch, who hurt you?
Well, that goes back to the whole therapy thing then, Joyelle, because he really needs to be in somebody's office, doesn't he?
Absolutely. Who hurt you? What, your mama or your daddy, both? Everybody hurt you.
Right. Exactly.
We all suffering.
And we have to pay the price. Right. Absolutely right. So George, I want to talk to you about these booster shots. We also have a coronavirus story every day, an update in the newsletter, Joyelle. And talking to George, you were saying about, I was confused, and I thought you had said it, but I thought it was a joke that you got one Moderna and one Pfizer shot.
January 16th in Atlanta, I got a Moderna shot in my doctor's office. And then 4 weeks later, you're supposed to get your second shot. And I said, the hospital said, yeah, we have Moderna. And when I went over and took the shot, I said, oh, that's one of them good. I went out to get the card. And I said, wait, this says Pfizer here. And they said, it's the same basis, it's the same group. So, and that's why it's okay. What is it mRNA? mRNA, yeah. So it's the same basis. So it's okay. And they're trying this all over Europe all the time. And they say it's okay. So right now, as of today, Pfizer has been approved for people my age. And I want the first thing out, but they say Moderna is better. So do I wait for the Moderna since the efficacy is in the 94% as opposed to Pfizer in the 84%? I want to get the shot no matter what.
Sure.
I want to get it.
What does your doctor say?
My doctor's in Atlanta. I want it right now. I don't.
You can't just wait.
But you know, when it's approved, you can get it at any corner. The medicine is available now. Right. So I would love to wait for the Moderna. I hope they approve it soon because it's better. But I'm getting the booster. I'm gonna be and don't you be in front of me, as a matter of fact. I'm getting me a booster shot, okay? And I was lying when the first day, like I told you, I got both my shots in the same day. So. But I want my vaccination, and I think that I believe in being vaccinated, and I'm adamant about you being vaccinated. Don't come to my house unless you're vaccinated. Did they ever find that clip of me? I'm so adamant about this. Look at
Yes, I'm getting one of those too.
Well, wait, you're vaccinated, right? Is what the floor mat says. The doorman.
You're vaccinated, right? If you're not, turn your ass around and get out of here. I see you, wouldn't want to be here. So I'm pretty adamant about it. And I think I'm canceling. I'm talking about my family reunion. I'm not sure we're ready to get together. And you know, you got some family members that are not being vaccinated. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to be around them. I'm a little adamant about it, as Joyelle would say. And that's why I don't go to the comedy clubs right now.
Right.
Comedy clubs are the nastiest places to be. Like,
I must say that I did for the first time go to a comedy club last week, and I went to see David Arnold at the Arlington Improv, and it was absolutely fabulous. I was at a table by myself in the back of the room, and so and near a door, so there was some air movement and things like that. But I was really quite hesitant to go, but I'm glad I did, because it really lifted my spirits.
You got some laughter.
I got Joyelle, and then so it was great.
See, that's my problem, Sybil. I can't go to the comedy clubs. You know why? I'm going to have so much fun that I'm going to be like, I'm going to forget what I'm doing and talking and hugging and talking to people. Yeah. So that's my point, is to keep my black behind right here in this house.
Yeah, I've been keeping my mask on.
Only cuss 2 times a day. Keep my black butt in this house.
As we wrap up our What You Need to Know segment, I do want to talk about the Haiti crisis in terms of what we can do to help people. And we have been in touch with a wonderful young woman in San Antonio, which is about 150 miles north of the border town of Del Rio. And so she has a company, an organization, I should say. It's called Black Freedom Factory, blackfreedomfactory.org. They are helping in terms of donations of clothing and food and what have you. So if you do want to do something, look up an organization that is working to do this. And this is one example of a place, blackfreedomfactory.org, in order to help the folks who are suffering there at the border, the Haitians that are trying to get into this country.
She was absolutely wonderful. Was that last night she was on your show?
Yes. Yes.
Is she a doctor? Or is she
no, she's an activist. She's a young activist. Her organization started about a year ago following the murder of George Floyd. And she said, they took to the streets of San Antonio to enact some changes. And now they are continuing their work and in this way in helping the Haitians that are just down the road from San Antonio.
Yeah. So clean out your closets, folks. We all need to clean out our
closets. Yeah. Exactly.
So next week, Sybil, will we have a name of an organization we can actually send it to? You just go online and find one, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. She is that is an organization that you can go to, blackfreedomfactory.org. blackfreedomfactory.org, and they are accepting donations, and then they go out and they provide food and clothing for people that are able to pass through the processing center. So,
yeah, I will send some clothes so that I can have room in my closet for when George takes me shopping.
Ain't nobody gonna.
When you take me shopping to Bloomingdale's, sir.
Nobody goes shopping anymore, Joyelle. Sybil, you still go to the stores?
Heck no. Yeah, I mask up and I go. Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Masked all the way up.
That's right. Get all of that. Shoot. That ain't gonna keep me from a good shoe sale, George.
All right,
it's time
to a comedy club, but she'll go to a department store.
I will do what I need to do.
Much
George.
Safer.
Come on. So let's talk entertainment. I don't know if you're a music fan, Joyelle, but entertainment is one of my loves. Obviously with comedy and what have you. But are you interested in the Fugees reunion?
I went to the concert last night.
Awesome. This is the pop-up that they had. No, I'm just so jealous.
Listen, okay, so I was having a terrible day, and this is the beauty of the universe and understanding ups and downs of life. I have 2 family members. My aunt and uncle are in the hospital in New Jersey, and it was really sad. Mm-hmm. They were on different floors, and like me and my cousins were just so upset. And then a friend of mine messaged me. He's like, look, I got 2 extra tickets to the Fuji concert. And I am a Jersey girl. I am from Vauxhall, New Jersey.
Okay.
The town next door to Laurel Hill. Mm-hmm. So when they came out, we were like, what? Laurel Hill showed me I could do this industry. It was Laurel Hill and Queen Latifah being able to see 2 Jersey girls make it. I said, I can do this because of them. So I was sobbing at the concert last night. Lori came out in a
was she on time?
Alexander McQueen. I don't know. They started around 10 o'clock. We got there at like 8:15.
That wasn't right of me to ask that, but you know.
We all know what concert we was at. My cousin kept being like, what time is it? I was like, girl,
who cares?
Did you mask up? Did you mask up? Come on.
I masked up the entire time. And I was getting my dance on. It was so much fun. It was the perfect temperature out.
Was it a large group? How many people?
A huge, and they have like a 17-piece band with them.
Oh, wow.
Brass instruments. The looks were fantastic.
Oh.
Praz had on this beaded jacket. It was so beautiful just to see them together. It was beautiful.
So that had to be magic. That had to just be the electric.
Yeah, I was crying. I was crying all day.
You cried at the concert.
I was crying earlier that day. I was crying at the concert. I was like, this is
But this time was tears of joy.
Yeah.
I can't believe you said that, Sybil. The only time I ever cried at a concert was Tears of Joy, Stevie Wonder. Only time I ever. And you mentioned verses.
Joy inside my tears.
Joys in my tears. Oh my God, he blew the place away in Atlanta. And you was talking about verses last week, Sybil. A concert I would like to see. People are not going to agree with me on this, but I would love to see Stevie Wonder versus. Okay, now I'm going to get in trouble for saying this. Elton John. I just think.
Oh yeah.
That's valid.
Elton John. That's two of the best concerts I've ever seen.
Especially with the piano.
Yeah, absolutely. Dueling piano.
They both had the piano. Oh, they can have a great time together, couldn't they?
Oh yeah. Dueling piano.
I don't know whether you've ever been to an Elton John concert, but it's one of the best concerts I've ever been. Stevie Wonder, two of the best concerts I've ever been.
Yeah, I agree with you. I saw Stevie Wonder. The last time I saw Stevie was at Madison Square Garden.
Really?
Songs in the Key of Life?
Yes.
Songs in the Key of Life. Was it crazy? Was that crazy, Sybil, or what?
Awesome. It was.
Was India Ari there that night?
Yes.
Oh, we were there.
Yes.
She came out in that ridiculous yellow
dress.
dress.
Oh my God. Just beautiful.
I was there tonight. Did he bring his two sons up on the stage, Sybil?
I want to say he did, George. I can't remember.
Yeah, I wanted to tell him. One of the kids was black.
There.
One of the kids was black and one of them was white. I wanted to tell Stevie, but you don't need to know.
You stupid. Okay. So here's Sybil. Do you remember when they did Ordinary Pain and Aisha's mic went out?
Yes.
I was so mad.
Oh my gosh. And everybody was like, what? And then they were looking at each other and even Stevie's like, hey.
I was singing it at the top of my lungs.
Okay.
I'll sing the part.
Okay, I got you.
Audience got you.
Stevie Wonder, God bless him.
All right, so before we close out, I do want to give you an opportunity, Joyelle, one more time to tell people how they can find your comedy special. It's going to be on Peacock, correct?
Yes, November 5th is coming out on Peacock, and my album, Yell Joy, is available on Blonde Medicine for a vinyl and across all streaming platforms. So
on
Yell
vinyl.
Joy,
all right. All right.
Vinyl. How about that?
Trying to take it back to the old school.
I like it. All right. Also, every day, Joyelle, we end with our Yogi's Jewel. That is our moment of inspiration.
Uh-oh. And
so remember that you are worth all the good that the universe has to offer. Receive it.
Bring it. I claim it. I'm enjoying life. If I die tomorrow, the world owes me nothing. I'm George Wallace. I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Joyelle, thank you so much. Learn a lot from you. Sybil, thank you.
As always, Dr. Wallace, it's a pleasure to work with you with greatness such as yourself.
You're fascinated, right?
Don't even want to Zoom with you.
Because I won't even Zoom with your ass if you ain't vaccinated, okay?
Going out to those nasty clubs and stuff. As we go out, I'd like to leave you with a sample from And She Worthy. This is a poetry album by one of our young social activists. Her name is Quinn Townsend Riley. And this is just dropped this week. And so that's the old school terminology. And it's available now on Apple Music, Spotify, and Tidal. This is And She Worthy, poetry album by Quinn Townsend Riley. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.
As I walk into my aunt's Baptist church on the south side of Chicago, 83rd and Damon if you want to know, I am wearing my favorite dress. I already know that some old lady is going to pull down my dress in the back to try and pull me down to my low level of self-esteem for this body. Women fix my dress in the front to minimize these maximized breasts, to reduce the sound of this architecture, as if art isn't supposed to be appreciated, as if this figure is meant to be silenced. I already know that some old lady is going to pull down my dress in the back Because this back is too arched for this dress, because this butt refuses to be unseen. I mean, it's as if she knows that she is queen. My rear is near and dear to my heart, just like the earth and other big round things, because my back demands to be acknowledged for the crescendo that God carefully arched with her own fingers. This back say a musical incline. This bend makes men bend heads. This back won't sit in this dress. This dress will sit and obey this back. This back cannot be covered in scriptures and whispers of that's not appropriate for church, and the cat calling from all the men and fathers, winks, longer smiles with their tight hugs that make this body feel like object, feel like a weightless toy that anyone could get a turn, like soft fruit, pear-shaped, caramel, peach, apple bottom, like these curves are only meant for hands to follow. Like this butt is only meant to be grabbed, like these breasts are only meant to be sexualized and terrorized with sexualized eyes. I have always been too developed, with a body too mature my mind couldn't keep up. This body knows long stares up and down. They look back twice. This body knows compliments and curses. This body is always cup runneth over in shorts, in bras, in seats, and for years, I didn't appreciate her until now. Because mama always made me cover up, and daddy never showed up, so it makes sense my confidence hid in the shadows, buried under makeup, diet pills, and Weight Watchers ads. It is a revolution, but I love myself. This body will be appreciated no matter how many times people try to pull it down, and if that makes you uncomfortable, I refuse to apologize and deny how this body is nothing but a throne and a home to a God. A canvas of creation, a temple of Genesis genitalia. We are all treasures in God's chest, but this jewel is gonna shine bright.